Here now with reaction, he's the host of the top-rated show on weekends, Life, Liberty, and Levin. I call him the Great One, Mark Levin. How many times, Mark, have I quoted you as saying that we live in a post-constitutional America? If this is not a post-constitutional America, I don't know what is.
You're 100% correct. You know, Sean, the Republican Party needs to understand something, as do the American people. This massive federal edifice that's been built in Washington, D.C., works for the Democrat Party. It's an appendage of the Democrat Party. When we have Republican presidents, they sabotage the Republicans, they'll investigate them, they'll leak against them. When we have Democrat presidents, you don't see that kind of behavior. In fact, they enlist the massive bureaucracy to issue regulations and rules and to sick their political opponents. This report right here, the Dorm report, is actually very, very important because it gives the official seal to what is the American Stasi. At every step of the way, this FBI ignored evidence, did not get corroborating evidence, had no evidence, did everything it could to protect Hillary Clinton, and did everything it could to destroy Donald Trump. It falsified information. They were told not to take notes. They had no basis whatsoever for unleashing their investigation. This country went through this for over 2 years. It sparked the Mueller investigation. And Donald Trump is a victim, and he's the greatest victim in American political history. And here's the problem, America. This same FBI edifice is in place right now. Christopher Wray is a fool. He is a bureaucrat. He does not understand that the Constitution puts congressional oversight ahead of sources and methods. He is just as bad as the guy before him. It's just a disaster what's going on over there. We now have a U.S. attorney dressed up as a special counsel going after Donald Trump again. That document case didn't have to be criminalized. That's ridiculous. To have a warrant to send down a SWAT team to Mar-a-Lago, none of that was necessary. That all could have been negotiated. This whole thing about January 6th, in terms of another grand jury to see if Donald Trump was trying to prevent the peaceful transition. It's ridiculous. It was Donald Trump who offered 10,000 armed National Guardmen to protect that building. That should be evidence enough to say, you know what, it's ridiculous to be investigating him. So they're not done. And the Republicans on Capitol Hill need to understand this administration, this FBI, this Department of Justice is targeting them. And they're not going to submit themselves to oversight. So what do? Well, they can litigate it, but they need to do everything they can to slash the FBI's budget. It's too big. It is a massive police state operation. It's like the Stasi. They're into everything and anything they want to be. They're into Twitter, for God's sakes. They're after parents. They're after the Catholic Church. They're after pro-lifers. The only thing they're not doing is their damn job, like prosecuting Democrats who won't enforce the law on the border and so forth. So I just want to make it abundantly clear. The reason why the Democrats will fight to the end, even push this country into a depression, in a default, is because they need that money to fund this edifice, the federal government. And they want to expand it. And they want to create more programs. And they want to hire more employees, 87,000 IRS agents. Why do you think they want to hire 87,000 IRS agents? For good government? No, to unleash them on the rest of us. This is the problem that we have right now in this country. And when it comes to the FBI is no good. It's gone rogue. It won't even submit to oversight. We have a whistleblower who says there's a document in the FBI that says that Joe Biden took bribes. That's the President of the United States, for God's sakes. Now, if the bureaucracy, if it were Donald Trump as president, the bureaucracy would leak it, right? Just like they leaked his tax returns. But in this case, you cannot allow a director of the FBI who's not even in the Constitution, who's not subject to votes by the American people, to say, I've got sources and methods. Yeah, we got your sources and methods here too, pal. Here's the report. And your sources and methods are corrupt. Your sources and methods violate the Constitution. And your sources and methods, they're still there. The bureaucracy's still there. He says, we fixed it all. No, you didn't. Why'd you send a SWAT team to Mar-a-Lago? You didn't fix a damn thing. Why are you violating attorney-client privilege by going in front of Obama judges? Why are you doing all sorts of things at the FBI against American citizens? Monitoring them, keeping files on them. We have the Inspector General who said they had 1 million FISA warrants. Sorry, it was an error. What the hell? That's crazy. So the FBI needs to have their budget slashed. It needs to be broken down and rebuilt, and it needs to have complete oversight by the Congress of the United States. And notice one other thing, Sean. The Democrats are perfectly fine with a Stasi because it's their Stasi. The New York Times, the Washington Post, you know, what are they going to do? Turn back their Pulitzers? They're perfectly fine with the Stasi, too. It is only we, conservatives, anymore who believe in civil liberties. Trust me on this. It's true. That's it. I'm done.
Dangerous times for the country, Mark. And the sad part is, I'm going to ask you one other question. Not only were they not held accountable for 2016, then the FBI pre-bunking what they knew was a very real Hunter Biden laptop in 2020. Then the CIA, the Dirty 51, as Miranda calls them, we had active employed CIA agents recruiting former intel officials. When are they going to be held accountable? Isn't that putting cinder blocks on the scale of our elections in this country?
They're never going to be held accountable because the only entity that can prosecute them is the one that's working on this and participating in it. And they are interfering with the 2024 election today, with the special counsel in Washington, D.C., with these phony criminal investigations. They're interfering with the election again today. The President, Biden, it's his FBI, it's his Attorney General, it's his DAs. They're interfering with the election, the third election in a row. There's no question about it.
All right, great one, Mark Levin. Don't forget Life, Liberty, Levin every Sunday right here on Fox.